So the other piece, as I said before, the importance, if we're going to go after that $100 billion North Star, that goal, what we need to do is also get the branding right. And it's the old three-legged bar stool. So we've got the physical unification, we've got the virtual unification, and then the branding piece for Australian produce. So if we're going to reach our potential, market access is going to be important. Productivity gains will continue to be important. Consumer demand and creating demand. But branding is also going to be critical. We need to create brands that are underpinned by consumer insights. And an insight is a deep penetrating discovery that unlocks growth. And all fast-moving consumer good companies and most sport companies now have got insights that drive their business. So they know consumers almost better than they know themselves. Because of the technology, like as it was announced this morning, someone's discovered that within Westfield, for example, you've got your Wi-Fi on. As soon as you walk into a Westfield, it can track where you go. How long do you spend staring into a shop window? Which shop window are you staring into? So Big Brother's watching, and you turn that into decision corridors. In the alcohol industry, you've got less than a minute from the person opening the pub door to getting to the font to hit them with a message so they go, I'll have a 4X Gold, thanks. Or in my case, it was a Bundaberg Rum. So you did every trick in the book. You had stickers on the door handle that people used to steal. A bare chrome handle with bare paw and got stolen all the time. But then you had on the floor. And Guinness used to do it better. They were best in class. They had a decision corridor, you walked in. So the reason I'm using that as an example is that insights drive consumer behaviour. And if you tap into that behaviour and give consumers what they want, and what they want with a Guinness, it's a beautifully poured surge and settle Guinness on a coaster. It's not dribbling everywhere, and it's beautiful black and white, and then you just want to stick your head in it. It's beautiful. Anyway, I digress. So one of the challenges we have in Australian agriculture is there are 17 versions of Brand Australia. And in fact, I think there's 18. I found one the other day. It's the most ridiculous looking logo I've ever seen. It's a koala in a cherry tree, but the koala is shaped like a teddy bear. So it's not even a koala, it's a teddy bear. There was a copy from China. So there are 17 versions of Brand Australia. If you look at New Zealand, 100% pure campaign. Now, people say, oh yeah, but that was a tourism campaign. Yes, it was, but everybody jumped on it. So if you're buying possum socks that you can buy at the airport, through to an All Blacks jersey or a lamb chop or a tin of milk powder, 100% New Zealand pure is on there. What does it mean? Well, when you go into the supermarket, and again, the decision corridor, you're walking down the aisle, they will have 100% New Zealand pure, and then underneath there we'll have all the brands that sit underneath that. And in some supermarkets in China, you've got up to 75 New Zealand brands in a particular category, all under 100% New Zealand pure. So they're spending a third of what Australia spends, and yet they're getting a 400% better consumer recognition. This shows that brands work. So we need to lead with our best-selling agricultural product, which is red meat, and we've got some of the red meat team in here from MLA. MLA have led the charge. They've shown some incredible leadership in terms of starting to build a brand for the red meat sector, which is True Aussie. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, but I guess if there's questions on True Aussie, some of the team are here who potentially might want to talk more about it later, after the show in the foyer. So True Aussie underpinned, again, the True Aussie brand, the reason that it's starting to resonate and it's working in the markets that they're in, they're not only getting volume growth, but they're getting value growth, is because it's driven by Asian insights. So they know what the consumer wants. And it's underpinned, True Aussie, it's underpinned by the ideal home. There's no better place on earth to raise beef, lamb, goats. It's a trusted partner and pure enjoyment. We know that people trust Australian produce. The frustration for me is that in Australia, the only thing that's ever been rationed in Australia is Bundaberg Rum. During the wars, the army took all the supply for World War I and World War II. It's the only product, I think Resch's was the other one actually, Gallipoli. But the reality is, it's the only time we've had a food shortage, and it wasn't really a food shortage, it was a rum shortage. So we've never missed out. We haven't had to turn cricket grounds into growing fruit or growing vegetables like they've done in England during the wars. So we are blessed with the fact that we've got the ideal home. In China, they don't have that. They don't trust their supply chain. So they're very, very hungry, literally, for our food and fibre. So here's an example of true Aussie beef, true Aussie lamb in a number of different markets. So it's live, it's in market, and results from what I've seen is that it's working very well. Well, I'll show you a little mood tape in a sec, but the aspiration is that we create a parent brand for agriculture, and we believe that True Aussie is the one. Now, the MLA have been incredibly professional in their approach to this and have agreed to sign an MOU with the NFF to look at putting True Aussie across other categories. But traceability and quality assurance are going to be critical. The last thing you want to do is to have that brand, that trademark loaned to somebody and they don't have the traceability or the QA to underpin it, because then you lose your authenticity. So as an example, you would have True Aussie Dairy, True Aussie Horticulture. The seafood guys are ringing the NFF every week. They are desperate for a seafood trademark. There is some concern, people say, oh, Aussie, is that a bit yobbo? No, because it's all about the tone. Yes, if we do an ad where we've got Hogs in his terry toweling shorts and hat, and then we finish with Aussie, 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 oi, 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 then absolutely it's yobbo. But if you get the imagery right and the positioning right, and that's why my aspiration for True Aussie is it also becomes a domestic brand. Because we need one to counter what's happening to us, not only globally, but also at home. We need to have what underpinning the True Aussie brand, a best management practice program, a QA program. The farmers, it's a self-assessable one that they do. Now, there are a lot of programs out there, so what we're saying is we wouldn't reinvent the wheel. You'd put on the table, here are all the programs, and let's pick the eyes out of it. So Cotton have got a great module for education. What it means is we can talk about environmental stewardship, we can talk about animal welfare without having to talk about environmental stewardship and animal welfare, because our activities are demonstrating best management. And on that dashboard, Luke Harrison, the young farmer, he was like 70% through doing his self-assessment. And we've seen it out of Queensland with the grazing best management practice, that self-assessable module or modules. So it is an aspiration. There is a lot of work to be done. The Australian made, Australian grown, we're not saying let's throw that out. Again, it's been around for, I guess, since the early 80s. But that mark is very highly recognisable, but it's a certification stamp. It's not a brand, it's a certification mark. So the country of origin. So yes, there's some aspirations there. Yes, there's more work to be done. Redic have put some money into looking at world's best traceability technology. So one of the things in the design of True Aussie, the Queensland border, someone said yesterday, I think Senator Colbeck said actually at the Chenois mine, that, I didn't think that was very funny, but where the Queensland New South Wales border is, where it's dark in there, that's where you could embed a QR code. So again, consumer walks into a supermarket, they're getting messages all along the way, you're 5 metres, 4 metres, 3 metres from one of the best experiences you can ever have buying True Aussie Australian beef. And then you can scan your phone over it,